Welcome to everyone. My name is R. Kumaravel. I am working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science Engineering at Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology, Virudhunagar. Now I am going to discuss software testing. These are our contents we will see one by one. Overview of software testing. What is meant by software testing? These things we will see one by one. Overview of software testing. Once software has been developed or generated, software must be tested to uncover the errors before delivery to the customer, because we have to deliver the software to the customer error-free software. That's a main goal of the software tester or software developer. And then software testing provides a systematic guidance for designing a test that tests the internal structure of the internal logic or internal structure of the program or software, as well as interfaces. Every software component can be tested. It tests the input output domains of software to uncover the errors in the program function as well as behavior and performance. All the things have been tested. The testing is conducted by the developer of the software. If the project is a big one, there is a third party or independent software test group can be employed to test the software. What is meant by software testing? Software testing is a process of exercising or testing or check or verifying the program with the specific intent of finding errors. The goal of testing means there is used to find out the errors. Why we are testing the software? We have to deliver the software with error-free software. We have to conduct a test as a good test. It has a high probability of finding error. That's called as a good test. Objective testing or is to check the program with the intent of finding an error. That's a main. The next one, that's used to check whether the system meets customer requirements or not, and the software can be executed successfully in the intended environment. That's a main objective of software testing. Okay, next one, the software objective of software tester. Main goal of or main responsibility of software tester. There's tester is to find the errors or bugs as early as possible and make sure they are fixed one. They get fixed. That's a main goal of the software tester. Then next one, software tester is to study the functionality in detail, as well as there is a probability of errors to likely to occur. That's a main one. And then software tester is to study the code to ensure that each and every line of code is tested. Main responsibility of the software tester, as well as the software tester is to create a test case in such a way that the testing is done to uncover the errors or hidden defects or hidden errors or bugs, as well as and also ensure that software is usable, error free, as well as reliable. Next one, verification as well as validation. What is meant by verification? That refers to the set of tasks to ensure that software correctly implements the specific function. That's a main verification. We have to verify the software to check the customer requirements whether it is satisfied or not. Are we building the product right? That's a main one for verification. That's another one, validation. Validation means what is it? What does it mean? Validate the software operations. Whatever the operations that are validated. That means it refers to the different set of tasks that the software that is built is traceable to customer requirements. Whether we have satisfied the customer requirements. That's a main goal of the software validation. And then are we building the right product? That's one. Verification validation process are continuous in the cycle till the software becomes defects free or error free. That's a verification as well as validation. White box testing. Okay, white box testing mean, what does it mean? White box testing means that is used to check or it is used to test the internal structure of the software. That's a white box testing. This is also known as clear box or transparent box or structural box testing. This testing mainly tested by the or mainly done by the developer. Next one, there is what are the main functionality of white box testing? That is used to test the internal structure of the program or software. Next one, all the independent path, all the independent or logical path or looping all the independent path have been checked or tested at least once. It evaluates all the logical decisions and then find whether they are true or false. These are conditions have been checked, and then all loops have been checked. All loops have been tested in all boundaries to check their boundaries, as well as evaluates all internal data structure to confirm their validity. That's a main functionality of white box testing. Control structure testing. The control structure testing is a part of the white box testing. This is conditional testing, data flow testing, as well as loop testing. These are all part of the control structure testing. Conditional testing means, what does it mean? It's a test case design method that checks the logical conditions contained in the program module. That's a conditional testing. Data flow testing means, what does it mean? Selects the data flow testing selects the test path of the program according to the logical or location of the definitions and test of variables in the program or uses of variables in the program. Okay, loop testing. Loop testing means is a white box testing that focuses exclusively or it exclusively concentrates on the validity of loop constraint, validity of the loop control flow testing. What does it mean? The most common good white box testing case is to consider control flow of the program. Means the flow of control can be transferred from one statement to another statement. That's called as a control flow. That can be represented as a control flow graph. The flow of control can be represented in a control flow graph. As well as it considers following comments. Node, what does it mean? The block of statement can consider as a node. The block of statement that is always executed together, that is considered as a node. As well as edge, the statements or control can be transferred from one statement to another statement, that is called as a edge. The possible transfer of control for after executing last statement of the block represented as a by node I to the first statement of block represented by node j, from node I to node j. That's a control can be transferred from node I to node j. That's called as a edge. Control flow graph. There is a continuation of control flow graph. There is a path. Path means is a finite set of nodes, as well as exit node. The node corresponding to block or whose last statement is a exit statement. Exit statement. Complete path means, what does it mean? A path, first node is a start node, as well as last node is a exit node. That's called as a complete path. This is a loop testing. Loop testing means that is used to check all the test cases involved in the loop. It is a first one simple loop, next one nested loop, concatenated loops, as well as unstructured loop. Simple loop. These are the test cases for simple loop. First, number of test cases have been conducted for the simple loop. First, you skip the loop entirely. That's one of the case. As well as only one pass through the loop, as well as two passes through the loop, as well as n passes through the loop, where m less than n. N is the number of passes through the loop, as well as n minus 1, n or n plus 1 passes through the loop. These are a simple loop for the these are the test cases for simple loop, as well as loop testing. The test cases for nested loops. If you increase the number of loops grow, it will the complexity of the looping is also increased. So start at the innermost loop, set all other loops are minimum value. These are test cases for the nested loops, and conduct simple loop test for the innermost loop while holding the outer loop as a minimum iteration parameter. Third one, add other test for the out of range or excluded value. If you give or excluded value or out of range value, how the loop will behave. As well as fourth one, work outward, conducting test for the next loop but keeping all other out loop or a minimum value, or you have to set a minimum value for all outer loops, and other nested loop is a typical value. Continue until all loops have been tested. It can check all the loops have been tested only once. This is an example for white box testing example. This is a program for mean value. These functions while say not of end of file, the score file is, if score is greater than 0.0 positive score, the sum of scores can be added with the sum of scores, and then number of score are incremented by 1, and then compute the mean and print the result. This is a block, number of scores greater than 0, that is a mean, as well as print mean scores value, as well as else no scores found in the file. This is a example program for mean. And then you have to construct a statements, you have to construct a node or a data flow graph determining path. First one, the set of statements can be considered as a 1, statement 1 as well as node 1, then while is a second node, and then if score greater than 0.0, positive score means that is considered as a node 3, as well as these two set of statements can be considered as a node 4, as well as end of if conditional testing, that is a node 5. This is a 6th node, as well as 7 if conditional testing. This is a conditional testing. This is 7 1. These statements are considered as a 8th one. Finally, the else part is a 9th one. This is a data steps for constructing data flow graph. This is a constructing logical flow diagram. The node 1 and then decision box 2 and then 3. 3 is true when 3 is, if the 3 is true, 4 or 5. True, 4 is executed and then 6 is executed, or 3 false, 5 is executed, then 6 will be printed. Next one, 2, if it is a true part means 3, 4, 5, 6 or 3, 5, 6. If it is a false part means it can be executed 7 1, 7th statement will be executed, and if it is a 7th is true, 8th will be executed, otherwise false, 9th will be executed. Okay. 6 is the repetition, while loop. While loop means the repetitive control structure, the loop will be executed again and again. Condition is satisfied. This is a find the test cases. This is a 1 if it is covered by any data. If you give any data A is equal to some x value, and then 2 statement will be executed, as well as B. This is a 3 will be executed. Data must contain at least one value. B contains at least one value means based on B value condition is true or false, positive score or negative score. That is a mean. If it is a positive score means 4 will be executed and then 6 will be executed. 3 negative score means 5 will be executed and then 6 will be executed. Next one, the data must be empty. If you are giving a is a value, the data is a empty one, then the 7 will be executed. If a positive total score is 0.0, less than 0.0, 8 will be executed, otherwise total score greater than 0, 9 will be executed. That is a finally it ends with exit node. There is a possible path means 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. The possible paths are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Then 2, 7, 8, exit. Then another possible path 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, exit, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 7, 9, exit. Test all the loops have been checked. Various possible test cases have been derived using this kind of data flow graph. This is a merits of white box testing. What does it mean? This is mainly done by or tested by the developer. Developer itself will test all the things, white box testing. Okay. It can improve the stability as well as reusability of test cases. Reusability as stability will be increased by using white box testing. Code optimization is possible using white box testing. Code is very minimal or optimal code can be used for the white box testing. This is a main advantage of white box testing. I conclude this topic. Thank you.